I'm excited to see more of the Ling for sure. But there is the Ruby though. There's a lot of stuns actually. Because the thing is, if you are utilizing the Ling, your most vulnerable moment is right after the Tempest of Blades, where you can be caught by the Ruby. For example, the stun.
Yeah.
And of course, you have Demon Kites, Pakito with the knockups. Surely, Ling is good, but I mean, Carl T's Ling is good. But you have a lot of answers coming out from RSG, so I wonder how they are going to be utilizing this Ling.
Yeah, there are pros and cons, but on the mastery of Carl TZ, it's about execution. But what I like about this, he's using the skin, the Lord Shen skin. Oh, and the Santai emote right onto Carl TZ. So trying to tell Echo to relax, because what they need to have right now is completely perfect momentum, being a Ling.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they need, right? They have to build that whole express factor that they're looking for. Light, though, unfortunately, he's just showing face. They gotta protect Emon, though, because the thing about Carrie is she shreds. She does so much damage when she's allowed to, right?
Yeah.
But because of that little bit of shorter range on her attacks and everything else, it's a little bit difficult to play around that. Now, he is rolling with a flicker, too, so that should help him, because you got to think, right? If Carrie, we've seen Carrie picks not work out when they can't get to the targets. And with Sanji on this Eve, man, that is going to be a huge obstacle in itself, because you've got to be fighting around a huge box, basically, around these objectives and everything else.
Literally and figuratively. But RSG gonna be looking for that play once again where you'll go to the XP lane. And this is very surprising because there are 6 heroes in the XP lane in the first 2 minutes of the game.
How crazy is this for RSG? And Echo, look at that.
That's a huge win for them. Demon Kite, the one to fall here. First blood already secured by Echo. But now it's actually going to hold them back here. Not sure if they want to specifically go for the turtle just yet. They might just go ahead and focus on the buff. So Demon Kite will be back up for this, so they can contest for that turtle when they decide to.
Just such a massive pickup though, but this means that they can aggressively take this purple buff. However, the retribution is still there.
Secured also by Carl TZ. Purple is secured, but Yaoi's making a play here.
Yaoi tried to get the kick in the right direction. Not going to happen here. Aqua does have the Way of the Dragon too. Turtle going to be worked on. Is it going to be secured by Demon Kite? Carl TZ doesn't have the retribution though, because he was forced to use it for the purple.
Yeah.
So good trade there, and objective going over to RSG.
Oh, wonderful usage of the recovery, coming out from RSG. They already are losing the early game because of that takeoff coming out from Echo. But what they did was to force the retribution, like you said, into the purple buff. All the while, you can see Demon Cat already working his way onto the turtle. So it happened so instantaneous and simultaneous that Echo couldn't react, even when they had the heroes in there. Because of the fact that they already utilized their ultimates, RSG have found the opening. And all of a sudden, that first blood didn't matter at all anymore.
Yeah, because 2 of these teams right now, RSG and Echo, they have a carry, they have a Ling. Both of these teams has an open time of invulnerability that they can actually get on each of the mistakes that they can do. Because right now it's going to be Carl TZ and it's going to be Carry on the other side. They need time, they need space. So the answer right now could be either the EXP or through the mid lane matchup that they need to provide space for.
The thing I like too is the fact that, you know, this alleviates a little bit pressure. Wow, there's some damage right there. Demon Kite punishing Carl TZ.
That hurt.
That was the 1-2 jab, and that's going to be the purple buff stolen too. So, you know, going back to the point though, what I was going to say with Aqua having this Way of the Dragon stolen, this alleviates a little bit of that pressure for Light to always be finding the setups, always be finding the angles, and that could be a big step in taking this game possibly down the road.
I wonder what really happened in there, because Cartesian seemed like he didn't have any time to react. Maybe he wasn't looking, because sometimes when you're jungling, right, you turn your screen into the other parts of the map.
To hear it,
To hear something else, or maybe scout somewhere else, but Demon Cat really outmatched Carl TZ. One big burst with the ultimate. Of course, having the high and dry And now the Hunter Strike means that they can really pick them off.
The setup from Yawi. Do you want
here.
Light?
Light's still going to be up, though. Able to survive for a little bit, quite longer, but Carl TZ still going for it. Does grab the kill here. Demon Kite going to get pushed to the turret. Sanji was the focus. Flickers over the wall quite safely, but Naz able to get the kill anyway. Carl TZ fell too. Going to be the 1 for 2 trade so far. They're looking for Sanford. Double kill Naz. They get the turtle too. RSG Philippines just turning that one around, and it's only Benny Cutie left alive.
The chaotic movements coming out from Echo really backfired heavily, because what they did was to Sanji pop the ultimate. I'm actually surprised that RSG survived in that real-world manipulation, but it was Nats that went in front of the Eve of Sanji. And then, of course, Aqua being in the right moment after recalling out, after just regenning out, they went for Kaltizia to get the kill. And, of course, Demon Kite kept himself safe. The energy in this building is...
The arena.
Arena is electrifying, and that's because of how RSG boosted them up with that play.
The chance of these teams just powers up everything for this game, because on that point, Light is doing a lot of spaces and a good job on how to pull one from Echo. And that's one trap that RSG just keep doing from game 1 to now. And this is one thing that they need to, one thing that Echo needs to address. They need to not answer those, well, what, ganks and setups, because that could mean danger and upping up the game for Eman, for the carry to be more even scarier heading into first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, not only that, but because of just everything that unfolded, they got a massive gold lead already starting here. 3K, but Light gonna get caught out a little bit here. Does the team follow up? They do grab a Light. Can Echo find another one? Look at Naz on the backside though. Falling Star Moon in, right on the perfect targets. And then look at that. Demon Kite looking for a kill. Grabs one, looking for another. Emon grabbing 1, 2. 2 fall for Echo. Big pickup, and what a cutoff from Naz.
Demon Kite coming from the death bush.
Well, they have spotted out Kartizi. Nats is there once again. They want to fight this. Well, Kartizi gets out. But what a jump coming out from Nats. They bid their time. Echo already are working towards RSG. They got a kill afterwards, but they committed so much. Even the Tempest of Blades was committed by Echo during that initial team fight. RSG waited for the right moment where Nats was there, and of course, Demon Kite landing the big combo onto the right heroes, as Naisu have mentioned Light.
Benny Cutie.
There's going to be the kick there. Can it find a kill? Looking for it. Turtle going to be secured by Demon Kite. Carl TZ taking down Light though, but now Yawi running for his life. And it's Demon Kite that grabs a kill. Benny Cutie has to flicker out, but look at Aqua grabbing the kill. 2 down for Echo. Demon Kite still hungry. Big trade though, 1 for 2, but clean turtles for RSG.
Wow, just completely nuts. Getting everybody's attention on the Echo side.
The amount of early game damage coming out from Echo, from RSG, is overwhelming Echo. Surely you can see a lot of outplays, a lot of combos from Echo, but the sustain as well as the constant amount of damage that you can get from the members of RSG through Demon Kite's spammable skills, Eman's normal attacks, of course. Even without the ultimate, he can pack up a punch. What I'm trying to say here is that Echo is a big... They are relying on their big-ticket ultimates to deal the damage and win the team fights, but for RSG, they can really fight on and on because of their spammable skills. And that's the reason why they won that fight as well. The big problem though is that Echo lost the turtle. That gave the bigger advantage for RSG, because now you have extra shields across your team, so you can fight afterwards.
Now it's go time. Is this go time for Task Force RSG? This is the goal. This is almost 6K gold lead. This forces out Echo for team fights that they don't want to commit. Because if they want to win this match, they need to securely get onto the proper items for Carl TZ. There's a lot of instances that he's completely being bursted down right in 0.1 second.
Yeah, that's the thing though too. You know, you're seeing it, right? This is, you know, Carl TZ when he doesn't have the purple buff, and you compare it to Demon Kite, right? Demon Kite doesn't care. He doesn't need the buffs. He can go ahead and push down a lane. He clears very well. He gets turrets. So that's why we see Carl TZ struggling a little bit here. And we see RSG Philippines being like, hey, we're going to control this side of the jungle the best we can to make Carl TZ's life a living hell. Yeah. Meanwhile, now the Lord is up, and we're going to see them transition to that because, again, Carl TZ doesn't have the purple buff.
5.4k. It looked like it was a quiet game for RSG and Echo, but during these turtle fights, during the big objectives, you can see them exploding between each other. But RSG getting the advantage, the upper hand in all occasions. And now, heading into the first Lord of the game, they wanted to really get onto Nats this time.
Nats doesn't have the sprint though, so it's going to be a 1 versus 3, make it a 1 versus 4 here.
What a
Nats
cancel.
is going to eventually go down. RSG Philippines Light and Edmond are there. Lord was going to be worked on, so action on the bottom side. Lord's still going to be worked on too. It is going to be secured by Demon Kite here. And look at that, Carl Teasy getting deleted with the 1-2 punch, and Demon Kite has a lot to say about it.
That, to me, is one of the most questions. When you see Carl Teasy, he always goes for those main max plays, right? But that was such a big disadvantage that he was facing. You'll understand why he wants to steal that Lord, right? But he is only level 12 compared to a level 13 Demon Cat back then. And Aqua also was holding on to the Way of the Dragon. So there were so many bad, bad or disadvantages for Carl Teasy to actually try to make that play. She's very curious. Carl Teasy is not known to make those kind of super duper. That's not even a risk. That's more like a gamble that it's almost an impossibility.
I almost feel like it was just desperation.
Yeah, desperation, and also he wanted to do something for the team to make a play, because on that, Wolf mentioning it was a 2-gap XP against Demon. Just imagine the damage on this Paquito, onto the items, plus the retribution. There's a lot of things. And Carl Teasy here, he desperately wanted to make a push for the team. And because right now, we need to find out on how Echo would go up against RSG to fight back. What's the checklist here?
Well, right now, I mean,
the checklist maybe pick off perhaps.
There's a lot. I mean,
just a lot. There's
quite a bit. Yeah, there's quite a bit that can happen here. Number one, too, is it is only the first Lord, right? So that's the upside for Echo. Now, your first thing is how do you whittle down this gold lead right now? 7K ahead for RSG.
Yeah, it's gonna be too far gone. Like approaching 15 minutes, because looking back here, Echo needs position first, okay? Set first, because one thing that they need to respect here is the RSG counterplay.
Yeah. Maybe if they do find a big opening with Sanford and Sanji just combining together for the ultimate, maybe they can.
They need to combine, yeah.
So here's the thing, right? When the second Lord respawns, it's the 12-minute Lord, there still is an advantage for Demon Cat when it comes to the levels compared to Carl Teasy. But during the third Lord, you equalized everything because you're now even when it comes to levels. So that might be something that Echo can bank for. What I'm trying to say here is maybe you concede the coming Lord and just defend. Maybe you fight the third Lord afterwards.
They're using this purple as a mousetrap.
They stole it.
Completely. Demon Kite.
Demon Kite just went in there. Dash.
Yep.
Retreat.
Yeah, with a Demon Punch.
A Demon Punch. I'm sorry, sorry, Carl Teasy.
This is one thing. Yeah, he's trying to make something here.
That's going to be the focus once again here.
Is this the pickoff that they need?
This should be a pickoff. He did have the sprint though, so
he's still surviving.
The
That's just finesse and bob and weaving. All RSG Philippines looking to cut off though. So it's Yaoi. That is going to be in enemy territory.
In enemy lines.
RSG Philippines are looking to capitalize on this. There's the slow. There's nowhere to go here. Yaoi falls. That is huge. As now the eyes are set on the Lord here for RSG.
There's really no way for Echo unless Carl Teasy makes a miracle play, but Light will actually just prevent that from happening. RSG have really... The fundamentals are super solid for RSG in this game, doing everything that they needed to do. They're also finessing against Echo, and now, like I said, Echo didn't have any way to kind of contest that first Lord. The second Lord. Maybe the third Lord they can, because now Carl Teasy is gonna reach level 15. No advantage anymore between retributions. The only problem is, can you get into the position? Well, he is a Link, so maybe that is one thing that they can hedge their bets on. But like I said, this second Lord is gonna be very crucial, because as Echo, you cannot take it. You have to make sure that the Lord push from RSG will not result into a base defense.
Yeah, we're looking right now at Yaoi and Carl Teasy. the possible two players could actually make a good play or a setup against RSG, because comparing it to weeks back, RSG struggled, RSG faced different foes onto getting into the points here, but now this is a more refined RSG. That notebook just got extra pages from Coach Panda, just using it perfectly against Echo, who's on a streak, and they're trying to break it.
Well, what just got broke was the base here for Echo, right? They're going to have to hold on to this one last turret, as they do on the top side, lost the mid and bottom. And now, once again, things are going to reset here. RSG Philippines might not look to actually just pressure a situation here. I mean, they've got quite a bit of time until that next Lord is up, but they do know that eventually Echo is going to want to secure the buffs again for Carl TZ.
They need it.
But, and this is the thing, right? Yawi, there's a lot of reliance here for him to find some type of pickoff. And that's what we're going to see here. Light might be looking for a moment himself with the flicker in. If they can get it out, the concealed play was committed, and he grabs Sanford. But luckily for Sanford, he had a flicker himself, so he's able to survive there. Now it looks like Yawi wants to return the favor, gets the kickoff, but was it the right target? Aqua's still going to be fine. Already getting the real world manipulation out. Carl TZ does manage to grab his orange buff, but RSG Philippines is going to take his purple. Looks like they're going to go ahead and give the trade call here. So there we go. Carl TZ is going to be happy with that.
Oh, Demon Knight is here. Oh, that was so good. That's so good. But onto the play of Yawi, the angle wasn't enough to force one to Echo's side. It was too far. It was too far.
Echo, though, they might be looking for a wraparound play. Yawi already skittered his way with a conceal, but the fact that the other members of RSG are not seen yet, it meant that they cannot go into Nats. In fact, Nats will be the one to be attacking them.
Nats putting the pressure here.
He's just completely being in the middle of the train.
They get the real world manipulation out. Light's going to bob and weave out of there. Going to be just fine. So this is big because Lord is now up. Sanji doesn't have the real world manipulation.
Yeah.
That's a big factor. Also, Carl TZ doesn't have the retribution. He had to use it to get that buff really fast earlier. So this could be a crucial time for RSG Philippines to just take this Lord the best they can.
This is the question right now for the Orcas. Will the pressure bring out the best in them, because they need this? They need this game. They need to win this. But right now it's just Demon Kite. Champ Stance is ready. There's a lot of damage going to be bursted down. How will they set this Lord?
Retribution's up, so is real world manipulation. This is all even across the board here.
Nats.
For the resources, but Nats just trying to buy some more time. Lord's still going to be worked on here. They grab a kill on Sanford. That's going to be the Lord going in the hands of RSG Philippines too, and Nats just single-handedly pushing the rest back.
The advantage already, you can feel it from RSG. The way that fight went in favor of RSG was mainly because of good positioning, but even better, the item advantage that RSG was able to build was really just simple plays. If you look at it, it's very simple. It looked really simple and fundamental coming out from RSG. But the reason why it was the case was because of what RSG did beforehand. The way that they positioned and was so good.
Look at that, the burst already there. They can't match the damage. They're looking for a kill themselves. Can Carl TZ grab it? No, he can't. He goes down here. 2 members down, and it's Naz under the crystal, grabbing another one. Sanford should be able to get the kill here, but RSG Philippines looking to end the game. Look at the amount of time that Naz buys, and that's going to be it. The Raiders take the series 2-1.
Stopping the streak of the Orcas. Today, on the last triple headers of the regular season, RSG making a statement.
You can feel it. RSG are prepared. Surely they fell in game number 2 because there was that Phoebe surprise, but game number 3, with the way that they picked the Ruby for the last pick and then the carry, the way that they played all throughout, wonderful stuff coming out from the defending champions themselves. And Echo, however, made it so difficult in games 1 and 2. But in game number 3, it was all RSG. The way they managed into the bottom lane, the way that they forced out the lane. Surely they allowed the lane to be picked up by Carl TZ. but they countered it. That first play that they did into the purple buff, it was more than enough for them to win the game because that set up the tempo that they wanted to play around with in game number 3.
It was a complete challenge for Carl Teasy. Not having those buffs, not having the space, it was all challenge for Echo to make their route perfectly work well, especially on getting that game.
Like I said, too, you alleviate some of that pressure from Light because Aqua had the way of the dragon himself in the majority of the game, and just allowed a lot of things to fall into place for RSG Philippines. You know, and Echo really couldn't crack that, and unfortunately, that time for Carl Teasy too, he couldn't get the momentum that he wanted to in the jungle. So you saw the gold lead, man. I mean, at the end there was like 13,000, but for the majority of the game, there was a moment where there was a blunder. And I think it was a 3K gold lead at that point, and then from there, RSG Philippines didn't let that go.
You could see that there were so many good plays that could have come out with the choke coming up from Yawis was the combo, but just the fact that you have this Valentina, we're still reminded on how OP this hero is. Right, stealing that Wave the Dragon so many times.
Right now, there's a lot of things happening on the first match of the Saturday, but right now, RSG's completely invaded the Orcas. My name is OSX, I'm with Naisu and Wolf. That's one hell of a match. Let's head over to Mara together with RSG.
Thank you, casters. RSG with today's win. Give him a round of applause. Aqua, finally, makakausap na kita. Ikaw yung MVP nung game number 1 kasi talagang grabe naman talaga yung zoning mo with Farsa. Talagang